I didn't lose my job that morning. I lost my husband, my company, and almost my identity. I was standing in the parking lot of Sterling and Associates, holding a cardboard box that felt way heavier than it looked. 10 years of work, stuffed into 14 inches of cheap cardboard. Inside it, my diplomas, my awards, a framed photo of my team, and a dying succulent my assistant gave me last Christmas. It was already wilting, like it knew. Across the lot, I watched my husband, Michael, laugh as he walked another woman to my car. The silver Audi we bought after landing our first six-figure client. She was wearing my blazer, the navy one with pearl buttons, the one I'd left on my chair that morning. That's when it hit me. This wasn't sudden. This was planned. The security guard avoided my eyes when he handed me the box. "Miss Chen, I'm sorry," he said quietly. "Mr. Sterling says you're not allowed back inside." Mr. Sterling, not Michael, not my husband. Just Mr. Sterling. That same morning, I'd walked into the boardroom confident. 3 months of research. A pitch deck I'd built from scratch. Our biggest client opportunity yet. Michael stood up, smiled, and said, "There's been a change in leadership direction." I thought he meant the pitch. He meant me. He thanked me for my contributions, then handed my role, my company, to a woman who'd been there 8 months. The board looked uncomfortable. No one stopped him. And then security showed up. As I stood there in the cold, my phone buzzed nonstop. Texts from my team. From people who knew this was wrong. But then, another call came in. From the bank. "Mrs. Sterling," the woman said, calm and professional, "there's been unusual activity on your business accounts." My stomach dropped. Large transfers. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Moved into an account under Michael's name only. That's when I realized this wasn't betrayal. This was war. I gripped the hood of my car so I wouldn't collapse. $500,000. That's what he tried to take. The bank officer's voice stayed calm, but mine didn't. "I didn't authorize any transfers," I said. "Freeze everything. Right now." When the call ended, my hands were shaking so badly I could barely dial my sister. "He did it," I said the second she answered. "The company. The money. All of it." Amy didn't hesitate. "Don't go home. Go to Mom's. I'm on my way." That's when the memories started stacking up. Late nights, cancelled dinners, Thursday business trips, hotel charges labeled client meetings. I wanted to believe him. Because believing was easier than admitting. I'd built a company with someone capable of destroying it. Amy arrived with a lawyer. And that's when the ground shifted. 6 months earlier, the first time I found a hotel receipt, Amy made me sign paperwork. Silent partner documents. Share transfers. I didn't think I'd need them. Turns out, I was wrong. "Lisa," she said calmly, "you own 60% of the company." I stared at her. "What?" "He can fire you as an employee," the lawyer added, "but he can't fire you as an owner. And he definitely can't steal from a company he doesn't control." For the first time that day, I could breathe. Michael thought he'd erased me, but all he'd done was expose himself. Because now this wasn't just betrayal. It was fraud. And fraud leaves a paper trail. Receipts. Emails. Bank records. Every move he made in secret had already become evidence. And tomorrow, he was walking straight into it. That night, my phone rang. "Michael." I almost didn't answer. Almost. "Lisa," he said, calm, controlled, "we need to talk." "No," I said, steady now. "We really don't," he sighed. Like I was being unreasonable. Today wasn't personal. It was business. "You're still my wife. We can work this out." That's when I knew. He thought he'd already won. "What about the money, Michael?" I asked quietly. "The $500,000 you tried to move this morning." Silence. "That was a realignment of assets," he said finally. "You're being hysterical." I smiled. I froze the accounts. The pause on the line stretched long enough to hear him breathe. You don't have the authority. I do, I said. I'm still on the paperwork. And you should probably check your email. What did you do? There's an emergency board meeting tomorrow. 10 a.m. Attendance required. He laughed, sharp, nervous. You can't call a board meeting. I didn't, I said. The majority shareholder did. More silence. You're not the majority. You lost that title in March. His voice dropped. You planned this. No, I said calmly. You did. I just stopped trusting you before you finished. I hung up. And for the first time since the parking lot, I wasn't afraid. Because tomorrow, everything he built on lies was about to collapse in front of everyone. The next morning, I walked back into the building he threw me out of. Same glass doors. Same logo. Different energy. The conference room was full board members, department heads, my team. Michael sat at the head of the table, confident. Chelsea beside him. When he saw me, his face tightened. What is she doing here? He snapped. She's with me, Amy said calmly, taking a seat. Majority shareholder. The room froze. That's not possible, Michael said. It's documented, the lawyer replied, sliding the papers forward. Michael stood up. This is ridiculous. I'm calling my lawyer. Go ahead, the lawyer said. While you do, I'll call the district attorney. They're very interested in the wire transfers you initiated yesterday. The silence was loud. Janet spoke first. Michael, what transfers? He tried to explain. He failed. Then someone said it out loud. Isn't Chelsea the same employee you promoted over your wife? Chelsea turned to him. You said you were separated. We're married, I said. Still, she stood up slowly, grabbed her bag, and walked out without a word. That's when everything unraveled. One by one, my team stood. I quit. Me too. I'm done. Every person I hired. Every person he thought he controlled. Amy opened her folder. I'm calling a vote to remove Michael Sterling as CEO for fraud, embezzlement and misconduct. Hands went up. The vote passed. Michael, the lawyer said, you're terminated. Security will escort you out. He looked at me, stunned. You planned this? No, I said. You underestimated me. And just like that, the man who tried to erase me was walked out of the company I built. They escorted him out the same way they escorted me, except this time no one looked away. The door shut behind him, and the room finally exhaled. For a second, I just stood there, taking in the faces of the people who stayed. Amy cleared her throat. I'd like to nominate Lisa as CEO. Every hand went up. No speeches. No hesitation. Just truth. But this moment wasn't about the title. It was about taking back what someone tried to erase. My work. My credibility, my name. That afternoon, I walked into the pitch meeting Michael planned to steal. Same room. Same deck. Different outcome. I didn't talk about betrayal. I didn't explain the chaos. I presented the work. The research I stayed up nights perfecting. The strategy built from years of listening, testing, failing, learning. They signed the contract that day. A week later, the charges became public. Fraud, embezzlement, misuse of company funds. The man who said, "It's just business," learned that business remembers every move. Months passed. The company grew. We rebranded. Not his name anymore. Mine. And here's the part no one prepares you for. Victory doesn't feel loud. It feels steady. It feels like sleeping through the night again. Like trusting your instincts without apologizing for them. Like realizing you were never weak. You were just loyal to the wrong person. He tried to destroy me quietly. Instead, he exposed himself loudly. And I didn't just survive what he planned. I built something better after it. Because when someone underestimates you, the smartest move is letting them.